the soft landing. Evening sleep story. The world has been loud today, not necessarily with sound. Sometimes the loudest noise is the kind you can't hear. The noise of thoughts competing, the noise of decisions waiting, the noise of everything demanding your attention, all at once. But here, in this moment, there is permission for something different. Quiet. Not the kind of quiet that feels forced. Not the kind that makes you more aware of what's missing. But deep quiet. The kind that fills space instead of emptying it. You might notice already how your breathing has changed just from arriving here, just from stopping. The inhale, a little slower. The exhale, a little longer. Your body recognizes this transition, this threshold between doing and being. It knows what comes next. Even if your mind is still moving, even if thoughts are still circling, your body knows. It's been preparing for this moment since the sun began to set. The light changing, the air cooling, the day releasing its grip. All of these signals telling your system that it's safe to slow down, safe to soften, safe to surrender. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to make yourself relax. That's not how this works. Deep quiet doesn't come from trying. It comes from allowing, from creating space, from stepping back, from letting the noise simply fade. And it will fade. Not immediately, not all at once, but gradually, like fog lifting from a valley, like clouds drifting apart, like something that was heavy, becoming lighter. Each breath you take is a small act of permission. Permission to let go. Permission to be still. Permission to stop managing everything. The world will continue without you tonight. It always does. The problems you're carrying will still be there tomorrow. If they matter. Many of them won't. Many of them are just noise, disguised as urgency, pretending to be important. But here, in the deep quiet, you can tell the difference between what matters and what doesn't, between what needs your attention and what simply wants it. The deep quiet has its own intelligence, its own way of organizing things. It doesn't need your help. It doesn't need your supervision. It only needs your presence. And you're already here, present, breathing, beginning to settle. The surface beneath you is holding your weight. You don't need to hold yourself up. You don't need to stay alert. Everything is being taken care of. The bed supports you. The darkness surrounds you. The quiet holds you. And in this holding, there is safety. Not the kind of safety that requires vigilance, but the kind that comes from surrender, from trusting that this moment doesn't need anything from you. This moment is complete, exactly as it is, with you, exactly as you are. Tired, perhaps overwhelmed, perhaps uncertain. All of it is welcome here. The deep quiet doesn't judge. It doesn't require you to be peaceful. It doesn't demand that you feel calm. It simply offers space. Space for whatever you're carrying. Space for whatever you're feeling. Space for all of it to exist without needing to be fixed, without needing to be changed, without needing to be anything other than what it is. And as you allow this, as you give yourself permission to simply be, something begins to shift. Not dramatically, not suddenly, just a gentle easing, the tension in your shoulders, softening the thoughts in your mind, slowing the grip you've been holding, loosening, all of it happening without effort, because the deep quiet does the work. When you stop working, when you stop trying, when you simply allow, there's a particular kind of stillness that only arrives at night, different from the stillness of morning, different from the pauses during the day. This stillness is complete. It doesn't ask you to prepare for what's coming. It doesn't require you to remember what's past. It exists outside of time, in a space where nothing is moving. Or perhaps everything is moving, but so slowly that it feels like stillness, like the turning of the earth, like the growing of trees, like the healing that happens beneath awareness. Your body is doing this now, healing, repairing, restoring, cells regenerating, systems recalibrating, everything working to bring you back to balance. You don't need to supervise this. You don't need to help. Your body has been doing this your entire life. Since before you were born. Since before you knew you existed. It knows what to do. The deep quiet creates the conditions for this work to happen. When the noise stops, when the demands cease, when you finally stop interfering, that's when the real restoration begins. Not in the doing, but in the not doing, in the complete absence of effort. Some people fear this, the stopping, the stillness, the quiet. They fear what might emerge when the noise finally fades, what thoughts might surface, what feelings might arrive, what truths might reveal themselves. But here's what actually happens. In the deep quiet, nothing emerges that wasn't already there. The deep quiet doesn't create problems. It reveals what's already present. And sometimes, that's uncomfortable. But it's also necessary. Because you can't address what you can't see. You can't heal what you keep hidden. You can't release what you refuse to acknowledge. The deep quiet brings everything into the light, not harshly, not violently, but gently, with patience, with compassion, with the understanding that everything has its time, and this time, this quiet time, is for rest. Whatever surfaces can be held, can be seen, can be acknowledged, and then can be set down. You don't need to solve it tonight. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to make it different than it is. You only need to allow it, to be present with it, to give it space, and then to let it rest alongside you, everything resting together in the deep quiet, the worries, the hopes, the questions without answers, all of it held gently by something larger than your understanding, by something wiser than your thinking, by the deep quiet that knows how to hold everything. Your breathing continues, steady and rhythmic. Each breath, a small wave of release. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, allowing. Exhale, surrendering. This rhythm is ancient, older than civilization, older than language. It's the rhythm of life itself. The ocean's tide, the moon's cycle, the earth's rotation. Everything moves in this rhythm. Expansion and contraction, holding and releasing, taking in and letting go. And you are part of this, connected to this larger rhythm. Your breath, the ocean's tide, your heartbeat, the earth's pulse, your rest, the universe's pause. You are not separate. You are not alone. You are part of something infinitely larger. And in the deep quiet, you can feel this, not with your mind, but with something deeper, some part of you that remembers that you belong here, in this moment, in this darkness, in this quiet. You belong, not because you've earned it, not because you deserve it, but simply because you exist, and existence itself is enough. The deep quiet confirms this, over and over, with each breath, with each moment of stillness, with each second that passes, without demand. You are enough, exactly as you are, not because you're perfect, but because you're here, present, breathing, allowing yourself to rest. And rest is where everything begins, not in the striving, not in the pushing, not in the constant doing, but in the stopping, in the stillness, in the deep quiet, where restoration happens. Your mind is slowing now. You might notice this. Thoughts that were racing, beginning to space out, like cars on a highway, with more distance between them. Each thought a little less urgent, each worry a little less consuming, not because they've disappeared, but because there's more space around them. The deep quiet creates this space, naturally, effortlessly, when you stop feeding the noise, when you stop chasing the thoughts, when you simply allow them to be. They lose their power. They become what they always were. Just thoughts, just mental events, passing through, like clouds, like weather. Here one moment, gone the next. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to push away, just passing through, and you watching them pass from the deep quiet, from the still center, from the place that doesn't move, no matter what moves through it. There is a layer beneath the layer, beneath the thoughts you can hear, beneath the feelings you can name, beneath all the noise of conscious awareness. There is something deeper. The deep quiet lives there, not on the surface, not in the part of you that talks, but underneath, in the foundation, in the bedrock of your being. Most of the time, you can't reach it. The surface is too loud, too active, too demanding. But at night, when the world grows still, when the demands fade, when you finally stop, that's when you can sink down through the layers to the place where the deep quiet waits. And it's always waiting, patient, unchanging, always there, like an underground river, like bedrock beneath soil, like something solid that exists beneath everything shifting. You're moving toward it now, with each breath, with each moment of stillness, with each small release, sinking deeper through the surface thoughts, through the conscious worries, through all the mental chatter, down, deeper, to where it's quiet, profoundly quiet, the kind of quiet that has weight, that has presence, that feels full, not empty, not hollow, but dense with peace, rich with rest, saturated with calm. This is where healing happens. This is where restoration occurs. This is where you remember who you are, beneath the roles, beneath the responsibilities, beneath everything you do and everything you carry. There is just you, essential, uncomplicated, whole. The deep quiet reveals this. When you sink deep enough, when you stay still long enough, when you allow yourself to simply be. Your body knows this place. It returns here every night. When you sleep, when you dream, when consciousness fades, and something else takes over, something wiser, something older, something that doesn't need your permission or understanding. It just works, organizing, processing, healing, while you rest, while you release, while you sink into the deep quiet. You might feel this now, a sense of heaviness, your body becoming heavier, sinking into the mattress, sinking through the surface, sinking down into something that holds you. This is the feeling of letting go, of the muscles releasing, of the nervous system downshifting, of everything that was tense becoming soft, not all at once, but gradually, layer by layer, breath by breath. The surface layer releases, then the one beneath it, then the one beneath that, deeper and deeper, into rest, into peace, into the deep quiet that holds everything. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to make happen. This is happening on its own. Your system knows how. It's been doing this every night of your life, preparing you for sleep, guiding you toward rest, leading you into the deep quiet. You're just along for the ride, just allowing it to happen, just saying yes to what your body already knows. Time feels different now, doesn't it? Slower, thicker, less defined. Minutes might feel like hours, or hours might feel like minutes. It doesn't matter. Time loses its meaning in the deep quiet. There's only now, this moment, this breath, and each moment is complete. Each breath is sufficient. Nothing is lacking. Nothing is missing. Everything that needs to be here is here, and everything else can wait. The world outside continues. People are still moving. Things are still happening. But here, in your space, in this moment, everything is still, perfectly still, beautifully still. And in this stillness, there is power. Not the power of action, but the power of presence. The power of being fully here, fully now, fully yourself, without pretense, without performance, without the need to be anything other than what you are. The deep quiet accepts you completely, without condition. It doesn't ask you to be better. It doesn't require improvement. It doesn't demand that you change. It simply holds you as you are right now, tired, imperfect, human, and that's enough. You're enough. In the deep quiet, that truth becomes clear, not as an idea, not as a concept, but as a felt experience, as something you know in your bones. You are enough. Not because of what you do, not because of what you achieve, but because you exist, because you breathe, because you're here, in this moment. That's all it takes. That's all it's ever taken. The deep quiet has no standards, no expectations, no requirements. It receives everyone, holds everyone, accepts everyone, just as they are. And right now, it's holding you, in the darkness, in the stillness, in the profound peace of deep quiet. Let yourself sink deeper. There's nothing to resist, nothing to fear, only rest, only peace, only the deep quiet, waiting to receive you, completely, fully. Now, some nights sleep comes quickly, other nights it takes its time. Both are fine, both are normal. The deep quiet doesn't rush. It doesn't have a schedule. It simply exists, waiting, patient, like a lake at midnight, like a forest in winter, like something vast and still that has nowhere else to be, and neither do you. You have nowhere to be, nothing to rush toward, nothing to accomplish. This moment is complete in itself. Whether you fall asleep now, or in an hour, or at all, this moment has value. This rest has purpose. This quiet is enough. Your body is benefiting, even if your mind is still active. Your nervous system is downshifting. Your muscles are releasing. Your breath is deepening. All of this is restoration. All of this is healing. You don't need to be unconscious for rest to happen. Rest happens in the allowing, in the stopping, in the surrender to stillness. And you're doing that now. However this feels is exactly right. If your mind is busy, that's okay. If your body is restless, that's okay. If sleep feels far away, that's okay too. The deep quiet holds all of it, without judgment, without preference. It doesn't need you to be peaceful. It doesn't require calmness. It simply offers space for whatever is. And whatever is will eventually settle. It always does. Like sediment in water, like dust in air. When the agitation stops, when the stirring ceases, everything settles. Naturally, inevitably, without force. You're in that process now. The settling, the quieting, the gradual descent into rest. Some part of you is already asleep. The part that worries about tomorrow, the part that replays today, the part that plans and analyzes, that part is resting. Even if another part is still aware, still listening, still present, that's fine. that awareness can stay. It doesn't prevent rest. It doesn't block sleep. It's just watching, like a lighthouse keeper, like a night watchman, like someone standing guard, while everything else rests. And eventually, even the watchman will sleep. When it's time, when it's ready, when the last thread of awareness finally releases. But there's no rush, no pressure, no need to force that moment. It will come. It always comes. The crossing from waking to sleeping, the transition from awareness to unconsciousness, the moment when you finally let go and you won't even notice it. No one ever does. One moment you're here, the next you're somewhere else, dreaming, drifting, deep in the quiet, where awareness doesn't reach. Your breath continues, steady, rhythmic, like waves on a shore, like wind through trees, in and out, in and out. Each breath taking you deeper, not into sleep necessarily, but into rest, into the deep quiet, where restoration happens, where healing occurs, where peace lives. You might notice how far away everything feels. The day, the world, the concerns that seemed so urgent, all of it, distant now, like lights on a far shore, like voices in another room, like something that exists, but doesn't touch you, can't touch you. Here in the deep quiet, here in this protected space, here where nothing can reach you, not demands, not expectations, not worry, none of it can enter here. This space is sealed by the darkness, by the quiet, by your decision to finally stop. And in this sealed space, you are safe, completely safe, utterly protected, not from the world. The world continues, but from the need to engage with it. Tonight you are exempt, released, free to just be, without purpose, without direction, without anything required, just being, just breathing, just existing in the deep quiet. This is a rare thing. This freedom, most of the time, you're needed for something, by someone, somewhere, but not now, not here, not tonight. Tonight you belong only to yourself and to the deep quiet that asks nothing, that demands nothing, that simply holds you while you rest, while you release, while you allow yourself to dissolve into peace, into stillness, into the deep quiet that has no beginning and no end. Let yourself dissolve. ThereThere's nothing to hold on to, nothing to maintain. Just let go. Let go. Let go of everything. The identity, the story, the constant narration of who you are and what you need to do. None of it matters. Not here. Not now. In the deep quiet, there is only presence, pure presence, without story, without self. Just this moment, this breath, this infinite quiet, holding everything, including you. Especially you. Rest now, deep, completely. The deep quiet has you. Everything is very far away now. The surface of waking, the world of doing, the realm where things matter. In the usual way, all of it. Receding, like a tide pulling back, like fog lifting, like something that was close, becoming distant, and in its place, space, vast space, infinite space, the deep quiet, expanding, filling everything, becoming everything, and you, part of it, not separate, not distinct, just present, awareness without edges, being without boundaries. The deep quiet doesn't end where you begin. You don't end where it begins. There is no line. No separation, just quiet, deep, infinite, all-encompassing. Your body has grown heavy or light. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Both feel like letting go, heavy, sinking into support. Light, floating free. Either way, you're releasing the need to hold yourself together, the need to remain intact, the need to be anything at all. You can dissolve, you can fragment, you can become nothing, and in that nothing, everything remains. The essential you, the part that doesn't need form, the awareness that exists without structure. This is what rests. This is what restores. This is what the deep quiet nurtures back to wholeness. Not the person you pretend to be, not the role you perform, but the essential you, the core, the seed. Everything else is temporary. Everything else can be set aside. For tonight, for this rest, for this journey into the deep quiet. You might see images now, fragments of scenes, faces without names, places that don't exist. These are the first whispers of the dream world, the boundary thinning between waking and sleeping, between conscious and unconscious. Let them come, let them pass. They don't mean anything. They don't require interpretation. They're just the mind's way of transitioning from one state to another, from the structured world of waking to the fluid world of dreams, and beneath both, the deep quiet, always there, always present, the foundation that holds everything, waking and sleeping, conscious and unconscious, activity and rest, all of it held by the deep quiet, and you sinking into it, deeper than dreams, deeper than sleep, deeper than awareness itself, to the place where nothing moves, where nothing changes, where everything simply is. This is the deepest rest, not sleep, something more fundamental, the rest of being, the rest of existence, the rest that requires nothing at all, no unconsciousness, no dreams, no escape, just presence in the deep quiet, where everything is held, where everything is allowed, where everything simply is. Your breath is so slow now, so subtle. Each inhale, barely noticeable. Each exhale, almost imperceptible. Like the breath of deep sleep. Like the breath of meditation. Like the breath of someone completely at peace. And you are at peace. Not because everything is solved. Not because everything is perfect. But because here, in the deep quiet, perfection isn't required. Peace doesn't depend on circumstances. It doesn't require resolution. Peace is what remains when everything else falls away, and everything has fallen away. The day, the worries, the plans, all of it, gone, released into the deep quiet, held there, safe there, while you rest profoundly, completely, beyond even sleep, in the deep quiet that has no opposite, that exists regardless, that was here before you arrived, and will remain after you leave. But right now, you're part of it, dissolved into it, merged with it, one with it. There is no separation, no distinction, just quiet, deep, infinite, perfect. And in this perfection, you rest, not seeking, not wanting, not needing, just being in the deep quiet, with the deep quiet. As the deep quiet, nothing moves, nothing changes, nothing needs to. Everything is exactly as it should be, including you, especially you, resting, releasing, returning to the deep quiet that has always held you, that always will. Let go completely, finally, into the deep quiet, into rest, into peace. Nothing remains but quiet, deep quiet, infinite quiet, and you, part of it, always. The night has its own rhythm, not the rhythm of the day, not the rhythm of activity, a slower rhythm, deeper, more fundamental, the rhythm of the earth turning, the rhythm of the stars moving, the rhythm of everything that exists beneath notice. You're in that rhythm now, your breath matching it, your heart synchronizing with it, your entire being aligning with something older than time, older than thought, older than anything you can name. The deep quiet has a rhythm. You can feel it, not with your ears, not with your mind, but with something deeper, some part of you that knows, without knowing how it knows. This rhythm is safety. This rhythm is home. This rhythm is where you belong, in the deep quiet, moving with it, breathing with it, being with it. There's no separation anymore, no sense of you and it, just this, the deep quiet, the profound rest, the infinite peace. Your body knows this state. It returns here every night when the conscious mind releases, when awareness fades, when sleep finally takes over. But you don't need to sleep to be here. You can rest here, awake or asleep, conscious or unconscious. The deep quiet doesn't tear. It holds both. It holds everything, including your restlessness, including your wakefulness, including whatever state you're in right now. All of it is held in the deep quiet, by the deep quiet. As the deep quiet, there's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, no other state to reach. This is it. This is enough. This is everything. The deep quiet, holding you while you rest, however that rest looks, however it feels, however long it takes. The deep quiet has infinite patience, infinite capacity, infinite everything, and you are part of that infinity, not separate from it, not outside it, but within it, of it, one with it. This is the truth. The deep quiet reveals you are not alone. You have never been alone. You are part of something infinitely larger, connected to everything, held by everything, supported by everything. The deep quiet is the ground, the foundation, the base of all existence. And you rest on that ground, supported, held, safe, completely safe, utterly protected, not from the world, but in the world, held by something the world can't touch. The deep quiet, your home, your refuge, always here, always available, always waiting for you to return, for you to remember, for you to recognize where you truly belong, not in the noise, not in the doing, but here, in the deep quiet, where everything is still, and everything is perfect. Time has stopped meaning anything. There is no before, no after, no then, no when, only now, eternal now, infinite now. The deep quiet exists outside time, or perhaps time exists within it. Either way, time doesn't touch you here. You're beyond its reach, beyond its measurement, beyond its constant forward push. Here, nothing pushes, nothing pulls, nothing demands. Only presence, only being, only the deep quiet that needs nothing and wants nothing and asks for nothing. The deep quiet is complete, self-sufficient, whole, and you within it are the same, complete, whole, sufficient, not lacking anything, not needing anything, not wanting anything else. This moment is sufficient. This breath is enough. This quiet is complete. And in this completeness, there is peace. Not the peace that comes from having everything, but the peace that comes from needing nothing, from recognizing that you already have everything essential: breath, awareness, existence. The rest is extra. The rest is decoration. Nice perhaps, but not necessary. Here in the deep quiet, you remember this. The essential is enough. Being is enough. You are enough. Not because of what you do, not because of what you have, but because you are. Simple existence, simple presence, simple being. That's all it's ever been. That's all it will ever be. The deep quiet confirms this. Over and over, with each moment of stillness, with each breath of peace, with each second that passes, without demand, you are enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. The deep quiet knows this. Even when you forget, it holds this truth, waiting for you to remember, waiting for you to return. And you have returned. Tonight. Now. To the deep quiet. To the truth. To yourself. The essential you. The real you. The you that exists. Beyond all the stories. This you is resting now. In the deep quiet. Held safely, completely at peace. Nothing can disturb this peace. Nothing can break this quiet. It's too deep, too vast, too fundamental. It exists beneath everything, supporting everything, holding everything, including you, especially you. Rest now, deep in the quiet, safe in the peace. Let go of everything. There's nothing left to hold, nothing left to carry. Only the deep quiet, only rest, only peace. Infinite, eternal, complete. Somewhere deep inside, there is stillness, absolute stillness, perfect stillness, the kind that has never moved, that will never move. The eye of the hurricane, the center of the wheel, the point around which everything else turns, but the point itself remains still. You're touching that point now, that center, that stillness, not with your mind. The mind can't reach it, but with something deeper, something that doesn't think, doesn't question, doesn't doubt, something that simply knows. And what it knows is peace, deep peace, unshakable peace, the peace that exists, regardless of circumstances, regardless of conditions, regardless of anything that might change. This peace doesn't change. It can't change. It's the one constant, the one reliable thing, the deep quiet at the center of everything. And you're resting there now, in that center, in that quiet, in that peace. Your breath barely moves. Your body barely registers. Your awareness, barely aware. Everything fading, everything softening, everything dissolving into the deep quiet. There's no resistance left, no holding, no trying, just surrender, complete surrender to what is, to what has always been, to the deep quiet that holds everything. The night continues around you. The world spins. Life goes on. But here, in your space, in this moment, everything is still, perfectly still, completely still. Still beyond stillness, the deep quiet, the final rest, the ultimate peace. This is where you belong. This is where you return. This is home, not a place, not a location, but a state, a being. A quiet so deep, it has no bottom. And you, sinking into it, deeper, always deeper, no bottom to reach, just infinite quiet, infinite peace, infinite rest. Let yourself sink. There's nothing to fear, nothing to resist, only the deep quiet, holding you, receiving you, welcoming you home to the stillness, to the peace, to the quiet that has no end. Rest here, stay here, be here, in the deep quiet, where everything is perfect, where everything is whole, where everything simply is. Nothing more needed, nothing less possible. Just this, the deep quiet, perfect, complete, eternal, and you, part of it, forever. The deep quiet asks nothing, expects nothing, requires nothing. It simply is. And you, within it, can simply be, without effort, without performance, without the need to be anything other than what you are. Tired, imperfect, human, all of it, held in the deep quiet, all of it, accepted completely. There is no judgment here, no comparison, no measurement, only presence, only being, only the deep quiet that knows no other way. This is the gift, the profound gift, permission to exist without justification, permission to rest without earning it, permission to be exactly as you are. The deep quiet gives this freely, abundantly, without condition. You don't need to deserve it. You don't need to qualify. You only need to accept, to receive, to allow yourself to be held. And you are held right now, completely, by the deep quiet, by the darkness, by the night, all of it, holding you while you rest, while you release, while you let go of everything, including yourself, including your story, including the constant need to be someone. Here you don't need to be anyone. You can dissolve. You can fade. You can become nothing. And in that nothing, find everything. The deep quiet, the profound peace, the infinite rest. This is what you came for. This is what you needed. This is what has been waiting all along, through every busy day, through every restless night. The deep quiet, waiting for you to stop, for you to settle, for you to finally come home. And you're home now, in the deep quiet, in the stillness, in the peace that needs nothing. Rest here, deeply, completely. There's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, no other place to be. This is it. This is enough. This is everything. The deep quiet, holding you now, always, forever. Sleep may come, or it may not. Either way, you're resting in the deep quiet where restoration happens, where healing occurs. Consciousness or unconsciousness, awareness or sleep. The deep quiet holds both, makes no distinction, sees no difference. Rest is rest, peace is peace. The deep quiet is the deep quiet, and you're in it, part of it, one with it. Let yourself be here for as long as it takes, for as long as you need. The deep quiet has no schedule, no timeline, no expectation. It simply holds you for as long as you need holding, until you're ready to return. But there's no rush, no pressure, no need to come back. Stay here in the deep quiet as long as you want. Days could pass, or moments. Time has no meaning here, no power, no pull. Only the deep quiet, only rest, only peace. Perfect, complete, infinite. Your breath continues. So slow, so subtle, barely there, barely moving. Like the breath of deep meditation. Like the breath of profound rest. Like the breath of someone completely at peace. And you are at peace in the deep quiet, where everything is still, where everything is perfect, where everything simply is. Let go now of any remaining awareness, of any lingering thoughts. Let it all dissolve into the deep quiet, into the infinite peace. Nothing remains but quiet, deep quiet, perfect quiet, and you dissolving into it, becoming it, being it. The deep quiet, the infinite rest, the eternal peace. Let go completely. Finally, there's nothing left. Only quiet, deep quiet, forever. The deep quiet holds everything, everything that has been, everything that will be. And right now, it holds you gently, completely, perfectly. There is nothing outside this, nothing beyond this, only the deep quiet, and you within it, not separate, not distinct, just here, in the vast stillness, in the infinite peace, in the deep quiet that has no beginning and no end. Your body has released. Your mind has quieted. Your awareness fading into background. What remains is essence, pure being, pure presence, pure, quiet, deep, infinite, perfect. This is the deepest rest, the most complete peace, the profound quiet of simply being. Nothing added, nothing taken away. Just this, the deep quiet, holding you, being you, you being it. No separation, no distinction, only quiet, deep quiet, infinite quiet. Let yourself dissolve completely into the quiet, into the peace, into the infinite stillness. There's nothing left to hold, nothing left to be, only quiet, deep, perfect, eternal. Rest now in the deep quiet, forever. The deep quiet holds you. Rest in the stillness. Nothing remains, only quiet, deep, quiet, perfect peace. Let go completely. The deep quiet, forever. Rest, peace, quiet.